What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Simply Hawkward Reviews, where we take anything and everything and review it. My name is Vaughn.
My name is Chase.
You're not... No, not Nombre. I forget what it is now. Don't know other languages, obviously. Today we're going to be talking about Fast and the Furious 8, or, as the cool people like to say, Fate of the Furious. I'm super excited. I actually thought it was really good. I'm not a fan of Fast and the Furious.
So he's a lunatic.
With the exception of Tokyo Drift, because it's the only good one.
They're all good.
And actually, I can't even say it's the only good one now, because I actually really enjoyed this one. 7, I was very disappointed in. I was not a fan. I thought 7 was very dull and just sincerely boring. But 8 was actually really, really good. I really enjoyed it. So, the way our reviews go is we talk about spoiler-free up until a certain point, and then we get into spoilers.
Up until we get bored with non-spoilers.
Yeah, there's only so much you could say non-spoilery.
All I can really say non-spoiler is go see it. It's a great movie.
It's really, really good. It's over the top, which I really like. Like, I never really liked the other ones because I felt like they were trying to be just a little bit serious. But in this one, with The Rock punching people and they're basically dead, it just made it so much better.
That's one thing that intrigues me about this whole Fast and the Furious universe, is that every time The Rock punches someone, or just The Rock in general, they make him, I don't know, like 3 times stronger than he is normally.
He's the Hulk.
No, he's not quite that strong, but when he punches people, it sounds like a missile launcher shooting. And every time it hits, it's just like, well, they're dead. They're not getting up from that.
You're like, there's literally no way they're still alive. See, the interesting thing is, I'm pretty sure in 6, or 5 or 6, because I haven't watched either. Yeah, that's how much I love these movies. Don't The Rock and Vin Diesel's character, Dom, fight?
Yeah, they fight.
Who wins? Spoiler, I guess. Who wins?
Dom.
Really?
No, there's no real end to it, but I would say there's no real conclusion to the fight. It kind of gets...
The Rock literally fucks everyone.
He didn't lose. Neither of them lost. Neither of them won.
Oh, so there's just like a draw?
It was like a draw because it was like...
I definitely think The Rock could beat Vin Diesel up.
I bet, because you look at the movie and everyone standing next to Vin Diesel's like normal size. Everyone standing next to The Rock looks like a baby.
Yeah, they look like a pebble.
Yes. Get it? The Rock, a pebble. You're so funny, Vaughn.
I know, I'm so good. Sick jokes. That's why people come to this channel, which they don't. Deprivation?
Sure.
No, that's not the right word. Doesn't really matter.
Self-hate.
Yeah, let's go with that. So, I think we got to the right point. We got the point that we were going for. It's a good movie. You should watch it. It's over the top. It's really fun.
It's fun. It's awesome. I felt like I was the only one in the theater that was literally cheering, because every time something like iconic or like something that was like throwing back to something iconic would happen, I would always get all antsy and excited, but everyone else was just kind of sitting there and was like...
I was just excited to hear Family another time. 11 times.
I think it was 10.
It was 11.
Was it 11?
In that one movie, they said family 11 times.
Which really isn't as much as I anticipated.
I know. I was expecting like 20 or 30, to be completely honest. Especially because of the trailer. They said family like 6 times.
Yeah, the trailer was like half the families.
That shows you how much that trailer shows of the movie.
It actually really didn't show very much.
It didn't. They left a lot out, and it was really, really interesting. So let's get into the spoiler territory here.
Well, before that, it was a good movie. Go see it.
Yeah, definitely good movie.
That's all I can say.
Would 100% recommend going see it. Definitely worth $10. I might even own it eventually. Probably not. But, so... the only one I need to own is Tokyo Drift. That's the truth.
I have that one.
So... I loved almost everything about this movie. The whole like zombie cars and everything. That entire scene was just so fantastic.
They're autonomous cars.
Yeah, they're autonomous cars, even though 90% of them were definitely not autonomous.
Yeah,
and you pointed that out. You're like, none of these are self-driving cars.
Yeah, it was a little far-fetched because in the movie they do the main villain in this is a cyber terrorist.
Her name is Cypher.
Yeah, her name is Cypher, and she's a cyber terrorist. And what she does is, she just causes mayhem with like technology. Well, at one point, she is like hacking into all these cars that are like in, I think it's New York. They're in New York City, and they're hacking all these cars. And then they start making these cars like drive and stuff, and you're sitting here like,
it's literally like a sign out of World War Z. It's crazy.
Like that's like a 2012 like Honda Civic. Like that thing is not have any autonomous like features in
literally, most cars, like no car really nowadays, with the exception of, from what I understand,
like
the Tesla has that feature. And literally, like every car in New York seems to have it. It was, like, that's the only thing that I had an issue with.
It was far-fetched, for sure.
It was going over the top with no data to back it up.
But it was cool as shit.
Oh, holy shit, it was cool. That was, like, one of the coolest scenes I've seen in a movie in a long time.
Like, there's literally that iconic scene in World War Z, where all the zombies are running across.
They're, like, piling up against each other.
Yeah, and they're, like, going around a corner, and they're, like, piling up against each other. That was exactly what happened, but with cars.
It was really, really cool. They were, like, fucking running into each other and blowing each other up. The New York scene, I would have to say, by far the coolest. Like, that was the greatest piece of that movie, was the entirety of New York. Because them trapping Dom, they had the fucking zombie cars, and they have, of course, Dom wrecking Jason Statham, which I don't really think would happen, but it did already, so you know what I mean? It already happened.
But it was part of the plan, man.
No, I meant in the last movie, he fucks him.
Oh, but this was part of the plan.
So, cause I don't, obviously I'm not a massive fan of Fast and the Furious, but I did watch the last movie. I especially loved the throwback to the last movie when he turns around and pulls a gun and he's like, oh, you thought this would be a street fight, and shoots him? I thought that was so good, because I actually understood that reference, obviously.
The one thing?
The one reference in that entire movie that I understood.
Okay, so how it goes down is Dom and Letty are on their honeymoon. Yeah. They just got married. They're enjoying their life. And this hot blonde gets Dom's attention.
Charlize Theron.
Hot.
Super hot.
Gets Dom's attention and then hands him a phone. And there's a picture on the phone. No one really knows what the picture is. And we're all sitting there like, oh, what's the picture? And Vaughn's like, he has a kid. Called it instantly.
To be fair, I can mostly call almost, like, I swear, almost anything. That's not bragging, but I call a lot of shit that happens in TV shows.
It's gotta ruin movies for you.
It doesn't ruin it. It's just like, if they can get around that, like, it definitely didn't ruin it in this. I was like, oh, totally know it's his son. Knew it 100%. There was no way it would be anything else, because they obviously aren't going to bring, like, Brian back, which, there you go. I guess they did. They brought Brian back. The baby's name is Brian. Yeah.
That's the big thing, is he's like, meet Brian. Which is weird, because in the Fast and Furious universe, Brian's not dead.
Brian's still alive.
Brian is still alive. He's just retired.
There's a lot of talks of it would have been better if he named his child Han. Wouldn't that be really interesting?
But, see, that would have made more sense than Brian.
It would, because Han is dead.
But I think that they should have thrown him, like, the real-life Paul Walker a bone and said, here's Paul, or here's Walker, or...
That would have been really cool,
like,
honestly.
None of the family, quote, none of the family understand that it's a throw to the real Paul.
Yeah, like
but everyone in the crowd's
the fans of the series would just be like, oh, that's so cool. But yeah, he names him Brian. I was totally okay with that.
Yeah, I was thinking it's either going to be Brian, Paul, or Walker.
I have to say...
Either one would have... Or any of the three.
Since we're on Paul Walker and Brian... Him leaving, a lot of people weren't sure how, like, they weren't sure how this series was going to go, from what I understand. And I love the inclusion of Jason Statham's character. I think he's awesome. Yeah, Deckard Shaw.
Shaw.
Right? I thought he was a fantastic character. He's so much fun to watch.
Jason Statham's probably one of my favorite actors. He's so good.
He's really good in action movies.
Well, yeah.
I haven't watched him in, like, basically anything else because he doesn't do a whole lot else.
He's so good in action.
He is. He's really, really good in action movies. He found his niche, and he's there. He's just ruling it. I mean, Crank, dude. That's it. That's all you need to know. It's Crank. Best movie he's ever made. Crank 2, actually.
He even made one that, I don't think it was a blockbuster by any means, but it was called, like Homestead or something like that. And it was just about his daughter him and his daughter living in this house, and these dudes try to like.
Oh, with James Franco.
Yeah.
Yeah, where he pisses off her like meth head sister, and then
yeah.
she's like, "Gator, you go kill him."
Yep, and it was that was an awesome movie. But enough about him. But what they do, like, to kind of not necessarily replace. I'm not going to use the word replace Paul Walker. They bring in another guy.
I would say they ease the load of his passing in a way. Because he's not there, but they needed somebody to be.
But see, that's how this franchise is going to continue if they want it to continue. They got to bring in new, younger, like, actors to be, like, shoved into this family.
From what I hear, a lot of people want them to just bring Han back and explain how he actually lived.
No, he's gone.
See, that's what a lot of people want, because they just love Han so much,
well, everyone
and they
loves
want him
Han,
to not be dead.
But that's the thing.
I want to see Jesse, dude. Jesse's going to come in.
That would be kind of cool.
He's like, you know what? I'm no longer the Drift King. I'm going to be on your guys' team, in his crazy, really shitty Texan accent.
But like I was saying, they introduced this new guy, and he's an understudy of nobody. And
he was just awkward, honestly.
I liked him.
I mean, I enjoyed him. They call him, like, Little Nobody. He doesn't have a name or anything. They just make jokes about him. I thought he was interesting, but I love how he just gets fucked immediately. Like, he's obviously not as skilled as any of them.
Obviously, but they brought him in, and he was kind of like a punching bag for all the people. They're all joking on him, and Roman's all making fun of him. It added more comedy, which is a good thing in these movies.
Roman's not the one being made fun of. He was the one making fun of him.
Yeah,
it was definitely interesting.
I like the new character that they added. Hopefully he sticks around.
I don't think he's bad. I just think there was, like, he just wasn't interesting enough to really make me care. I'm like, cool. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm here to watch shit explode, which stuff did.
See, you're there to watch shit explode. I'm there to see the story.
I'm here to... This is literally
I want to see this family.
Opposite of our two viewpoints on most movies.
Yeah.
I was there to see The Rock guide a torpedo with his fucking hand.
It makes sense.
And I got to see it.
It makes sense.
Seriously, though,
you say it like it doesn't make sense.
I totally believe that a lot of people are like, oh yeah, the next step for this franchise is just them, like, they're fucking superheroes and they get, like, superpowers in the next movie.
It's very well seen.
I would believe it. I want that to happen.
No, it would ruin it.
So good.
It would ruin it.
One thing that I would really enjoy, and we brought this up, we were talking about this after we saw it, is how funny it would be if they tied in the Triple X franchise, and it turned out Vin Diesel, like Dominic Toretto, was actually Xander Cage.
I'm telling you, Triple X is a what am I trying to say?
Is a documentary?
Is a documentary.
That's what you said like 6 times.
On Dom Toretto. It's a documentary about him.
It would be so interesting.
Everyone's like, how does he go from a racer to this badass? It's because he's an agent.
Yeah, that would be
Open your eyes, people.
Interesting. It's so cool if they were just like, oh no, yeah, that's like how they have basically they have Han's prequel. They have Han's prequel, I guess, in a different movie, and then they could totally do like the Dominic Toretto like prequel and everything, and they would just have his entire like fucking.
And then Ice Cube could show up.
I know, that's what I was gonna say. Ice Cube would show up because, hey, you know what?
He's an agent.
It's fucking.
Why not?
Triple X, the second one, and it's a terrible movie. I'm actually excited for Return of Xander Cage. I think it's gonna be a cool movie. I think it'll look good. I really, really enjoyed this movie. I had like almost zero issues with it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
You should definitely go see it right now.
Yeah, you should. 100%. Go see it.
We say that about so far most of the movies we've reviewed.
See, because they're good movies.
We need to start seeing trash.
We do. We need to start seeing trash.
So we can just come up here and start dogging on people.
We pay for these movies, so I don't want to go see a trash movie. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to see Suicide Squad. It gets a lot of hate here. You don't have to see it, so don't worry about that one.
We would not recommend it.
You don't have to buy it. Let me think. Some other movies that are trash. Lots of stuff on Netflix. Don't have to waste your time. Time is the most valuable currency in the world. You don't have to waste most shit on Netflix.
Diamonds.
Yeah, definitely.
Unobtainium.
Unobtainium?
Yeah.
You definitely. I'm trying to think of some other movies that are just utter trash.
A lot.
Daredevil, Elektra, both trash. Don't have to watch those. Just a couple quick reviews there, just right off the bat. Just don't
Rapid
watch
reviews.
any of those fucking... Yeah, We actually do a rapid review after like.
It was supposed to be a rapid review, but it was 10 minutes long.
Who does that anyway? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. We really enjoy making these videos, and it helps us so much if you guys click that like button. If you guys subscribe for all of our upcoming content, you know you're going to want to because we're super cool. We post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We do reviews, game reviews, literally just too much shit. We should probably narrow it down to something. And make sure you guys leave a comment letting us know how you felt about the Fast and the Furious 8. And
this has been the longest outro.
If you think Tokyo Drift is the best, because it is. So, yeah.
You're wrong if that's your take on it.
It's the top. It's number 1 of all time.
It's number 3.
Nope. Oh, true. Number 2 is the worst, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.